Okay, this one problem might pose a little bit of a difficulty. So we got three ratios, so I make three big lines, and I need to come up with an LCD. So I need to put parentheses in the plus minus expressions. And we drop the tops. We don't even try to factor the tops, okay? Okay, now on bottom, x minus 3, it's got two terms. Now there's no GCF, it's a 1, and it's not a DOPS. 3 is not a perfect square, so again, that would stay the same. Same with the x minus 5, and same with the other x minus 5. Okay, those are all prime. They all have two terms, okay? So if I went to scratch paper, I'd see, okay, the GCF's 1, so I wouldn't do the GCF box, and it's also not a DOPS. So for the LCD, we have, remember, just the bottom, the parentheses of x minus 3, the parentheses of x minus 5, and then I see what I can do. Okay, so x minus 3, I've got 1 on the first, 0 on the second, and 0 on the third. So I need to add a factor of x minus 3 to the second and third, so they both have they have 1 as well as the first. X minus 5, I have 0, 1, and 1. So we need to get them all so they have 1. So the one with 0, we need to bring in a factor of x minus 5 also on top. Then you go to Math Papa. I'm going to do this in my head real quick. When you do Math Papa, you're going to get on this side, okay, 2x to the second minus 5x minus 15. And this side's going to give you x to the second, which is 1 minus 2x minus 15. Okay, now you have two answers because we have x to the second. Now, do we have any x's that are not to the second? Yeah, we do. So we need to get everything to one side. Okay, so x to the second. Now, first I need to subtract 1x second from the 2, and that's 1. Okay. For x, I need to add 2x. Oops, my bad. Wait a second. No, it's right. Okay. So minus 3x. Okay. And then for the numbers, I add these, but then this funny little thing happens. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0. So we get rid of that space. Well, now I only have two terms. Okay. So GCF, and then I see if it's a difference of perfect squares instead of the T-chart. Okay, so GCF. Now you don't have a negative. You do have x on both your terms, so you need to put an x there, and then 1 and 3, the GCF's 1, but since it's 1x, it's got to come out here. Okay. Actually, don't put a parentheses there. Okay. Just 1x. So I divide by 1x, and that's going to be 1x and negative 3, so minus 3. Now I do have a minus, but 3 is not a perfect square. There's no integer times itself that equals 3, so we don't do that. And my F1 and F2 then come solely from the GCF box. Okay, so 1x could equal 0, or 1x minus 3 could equal 0. So here I divide by 1. And that's 0. Then I add 3, and it's 3. So 0 and 3 are the two answers. Okay. So when that third term drops, it's GCF, DOPS. If they ain't DOPS, and the GCF is where I look to get my two answers. F1's the outside factor. There's an X there, so yeah.